The member for Leichhardt.
Thank you very much indeed, Mr Speaker. And following on from those comments from the Prime Minister, my question is to the Prime Minister. Will the Prime Minister please outline to the House how the Morrison government is delivering on its plans to secure Australia's economic future and keep Australia safe, including by reopening the nation through increased COVID-19 vaccine rates?
The Prime Minister has the floor.
Thank you, Mr Speaker, and I thank the member for Leichhardt for his question. And I'm so pleased, as I know the member is also, but more importantly the people of Leichhardt are so pleased that the member for Leichhardt was putting himself forward again at the next election, Mr Speaker. He stood with us as a coalition for many, many years, one of the most experienced and dedicated members of this House and a champion of North Queensland, Mr Speaker. And at the last election, he and I stood together and we told the Australian people, Mr Speaker, together with the government members, that we were going to build our economy to secure Australia's future. And, Mr Speaker, at that time, none of us could have known the challenges that would come Australia's way at the time of the last election, in particular in relation to the COVID-19 pandemic and the global recession that followed from that pandemic. But, Mr Speaker, the national plans that we have put in place over the course of this parliamentary term have served that purpose, to secure Australians' future, that despite the challenges, uncertainty that we have faced as a country, Australians can still plan for their future with confidence. Our COVID response plan and the national plan to reopen Australia is effective, is working, Mr Speaker, is opening up the country. 75% double dose vaccination rates now achieved across the country, 3/4 of those aged over 16 having been vaccinated. We have one of the lowest rates of fatalities of COVID-19 in the world. We're one of the strongest economies to power through the COVID-19 pandemic and the recession that followed it, Mr Speaker. And now we're on our way to having the highest COVID-19 vaccine rates around the world, and today we have announced the booster program, Mr Speaker. There are enough vaccines in Australia, not only for the boosters, but for everyone who wants one to get one, and to assure, particularly in Western Australia and Queensland, that those rates can rise. Our economic recovery plan that the Treasurer has led and the budgets, Mr Speaker, that he's brought down, lower taxes, infrastructure spending, skills spending, manufacturing and energy, defence industry, recycling, Mr Speaker, our rare earths and critical minerals strategy in the resources sector, our agricultural 2030 plan and the record investments going to science and research, and of course our national plan to ensure that we can achieve our target of net zero emissions by 2050, Mr Speaker, without taxes, without putting burdens on Australians or targeting sectors or telling Australians what they should be doing. Our national security plan, Mr Speaker, which was realised again last night, where Australia was the first country to achieve a comprehensive strategic partner with ASEAN. This is a significant achievement, Mr Speaker, and I commend the Minister for Foreign Affairs and be able to present at the East Asia Summit as ASEAN's first comprehensive strategic partner is a great advantage for Australia. But that's backed up by our leadership through the Quad Nations. It's backed up through the partnerships formed through AUKUS and our record defence spending, as well as keeping kids safe online, Mr Speaker, and keeping our borders safe.
These
national plans, Mr Speaker, delivering for Australia.